Over the weekend, we really were making an emphasis on this daily chart and the daily MACD being positive, suggesting if that does curl up, we can see more positivity. And we are very likely to test this high and go make a new one. But as that one has not crossed up, and as we are squeezing on the 2 hour almost to the second standard deviation for the day, we ran into the weekly expected move, which will be the first form of resistance. Now, we are going to give you the updated levels here for the daily expected moves, but we're also going to give you the 95% zone, aka the second standard deviation upside for the SPY, in case we're able to see some kind of further squeezing this week. But as we run our head into that weekly expected move, as we were doing all of our homework on the 30-minute charts in here for this potential move, this is an area where we have to start to consider those decisions. Now, early on in this video, before we get into all that analysis, I wanted to bring up a couple of things that could shake up the market. And at least in the near term, we will get on, I believe it is Wednesday, we will get the retail sales, but later on, we will get that Fed interest rate decision. We will get the Fed press conference. So those are a couple of things to really look out for on Wednesday, not only because of that, but because of the expiration being on Wednesday and because of the OpEx being on a Thursday with the day off on Friday. So we really have to watch this carefully. The 2 hour is trying to go positive and it is successful in going positive, which does open the door for us to be able to go higher. So we'll see if that's ever able to take place. If the 2 hour would say rotate down for whatever reason from where it's at here, then we would still suggest watching for a test of the low or going to make a new one. But with the positivity in here, you have to be ready to react to any kind of 2 hour high or low. That is something that we really want to consider with this market. And we're going to watch this with you during the live shows. If you'd like to join us for the live shows because this we can talk about in real time for it. Now, as of tomorrow, today, you did see a 15% probability day. You did see VIX get it wrong, where VIX was calling out that we had a high percentage to see a down day. Well, we saw something happen. We saw some kind of thing again from Trump over the weekend, and then we get some upward price action. So you do get that upward price action to send you up higher, which brings the control of the 30-minute chart and potentially now the 2 hour chart being positive. The control starts to be with the bulls. So if we are going to set up a trap by this weekly expected move, it is very likely that that trap will need a reason to fall down. So I'd really heavily be paying attention to the Fed interest rate decision, the Fed press conference. That would be very important. But for tomorrow, as we just tagged the weekly expected move, where is the next opportunity? Well, the next opportunity is mostly on some kind of pullback. That's right. If we see some kind of pullback in here and we're able to curl to the upside, that would be a good thing because that would say, hey, we can at least reach up higher, maybe targeting Wednesday's daily expected move, and then we can run into that volatile event. But this looks like another opportunity as you are in such a bullish trend. There is no signal here suggesting that that 2 hour is going to rotate down at this point. So in order to say that that 2 hour is very likely to curl down, well, we would very likely need to see some kind of divergence. We would very likely need to break down even further and see some kind of lower high to suggest that that is really going to be some major disruption. So we will consider that in tomorrow's price action. But for now, keeping it simple is the best thing to do. If the 30-minute has no reversal signals and we have seen some extreme bullishness come in, and we have a nice gap of buyers, it would be very nice to tap into that gap and then curl to the upside before we get to that major event. As you look at the 2 hour chart, guys, the thing about this 2 hour chart, how we really want to look at it is, can we extend higher? And then do we see an opportunity over here? Or do we see an opportunity with some kind of higher low within this price action over here? Because if you curl the 2 hour down and you don't get that higher low, you are at risk of rolling and seeing more downside. But with the extreme bullishness, I would keep it on your mind that this was able to go positive, which means what we are paying attention to with the macro scale, that daily chart, we might want to heavily be watching the 2 hour chart in case it makes a 2 hour higher low or anything like that in these areas. As we switch over to the Qs, same scenario, right? The Qs can go make triple divergence if they want, which is fine, but it is very likely that the Qs will hang out in this general area. And this is just a very risky area for 2026 because of that salmon or pink line. That 748.35 is your annual expected move. And a lot of the time, annual expected moves like to create the biggest traps of the year. This last biggest trap that we've ever seen was actually down at these levels towards the lows of 2025. We saw a annual expected move here. We created a reversal signal on the 2-hour chart. Have we seen a reversal signal from the 2-hour chart for the Qs? Well, that's what we are going to get in, but obviously we see here that this is well positive. So if the daily is able to curl up, we are going to still be in that bullish phase for a bit of time, which we are expecting the Qs and IWM to eventually push through these. We're just wondering, do we actually get a weekly pullback first, or do we have more upside to create more daily divergences, triple divergence, and things like that before falling to the downside? The 2-hour chart here able to go, I believe, even more positive than the SPY. So that starts to open the door to what? Higher lows. Watch out for any kind of higher low, because that is very likely going to be an opportunity if that gets confirmation to the upside. If we break down and we fail to get confirmation to the upside, that is where we will really be considering, we're going into negative territory. So that is something to be considered here. The 30-minute chart, though, nothing here looks bearish for the 30-minute chart. This actually looks pretty darn bullish. We have a big gap with some good buyers in there, and you have daily expected moves of 752.20 to the upside and 735.80 to the downside. Those are very, very key levels for tomorrow, because if you're going to get an opportunity at this weekly expected move, as the SPY has tagged it, the Qs will very likely get there, and you have a great positive trend. Maybe you come and hang out down here for most of the day, you curl to the upside, you're able to see some kind of upside move. But if you're creating any kind of 30-minute divergence outside of this, be very, very cautious, because that could be some kind of, at least for the short term, a 2-hour trap. The truth is, around these weekly expected moves, we always talk the same. These are decision-making areas. We notice the divergence. We notice the higher low. We curl up. We say the 2-hour is very likely to climb to next week's weekly expected move. And guess what? The 2-hour curls up and climbs exactly to the weekly expected move at this point. So nothing here is crazy. I would just say the next real opportunity for some kind of play here would just be some kind of 30-minute pullback that's able to go higher, and then we have to watch out for any kind of trap. As we go into IWM actually able to stay pretty much within the daily expected moves, coming right up to it and getting resistance from it, so not seeing a crazy move to the upside. It kind of already made its crazy move on Friday. So we want to consider what's going on with the 30-minute chart and show off that there are forms of divergence on your RSI, maybe a rejection divergence on your MACD, but it's so high up that even if it wanted to pull back tomorrow, see if it can get down to that daily expected move, another 30-minute move to the upside would be probable. As we look at the 2-hour chart, you might be saying, hey, there's divergence here. Maybe you say there's divergence here. I could see that, and I could see that argument for it, but this negative move means we might have already worked that out, so we might be in for 2 more pushes from the 2-hour chart. Now, this is very key, because that means that we could potentially see the SPY do this, right? We could see the SPY do something like this, come back down into here, and then curl back to the upside. And what that would do is set up the reversal signal again over here, just like this one, but over here. And that would have even weaker momentum, because that would cause the daily to curl up. And if you get that reversal signal, that would suggest this is going to cross down closer to the center line, and you could form some sort of triple divergence down there on your RSI. So this is very, very critical for the SPY, for the IWM, and for the Qs right now. And as we look at volatility, though, we look at this, and this is kind of where things have really shifted very quickly. And that's why I'm glad we were overall really mentioning bear trap signals, bear trap signals, bear trap signals all week long last week. Now we see the fruit of everything that we have been talking about, and this is causing volatility to drop off fast. And if the daily is able to curl down here, and it doesn't quickly like form some sort of divergence point by that 1504, you're at risk of seeing a squeeze to the upside and continuing this party for a longer period of time around that 1212. As of right now, does the 2-hour chart look like it's going to skyrocket up here? Well, the 2-hour chart, even if it crossed up, lower high would be the more probable thing. We'd maybe watch for divergences down here and stuff like that. But as of right now, your 30-minute, your 2-hour, none of them are suggesting big volatility can come in. Now, we'll have to see if people read into more Trump talk and things like that. But as of right now, even the 30-minute chart, yeah, there's little divergences on the RSI between all this, but you do not see it on the MACD at the same time, meaning it very well could get a push to the upside that just is able to fail, right? Fail and then create a 30-minute divergence later for some kind of 2-hour pullback. So as of right now, what does this mean? This means that it's very likely that the bulls have done enough here that the SPY is at least going to make one more move on the 30-minute. And then we have to see how that 2 hour reacts. If we get some kind of trap up here for, say, the 2 hour to cross down, well, then what if we just get some kind of pullback that then leads to buyer demand? And then the 2 hour chart's able to cross up again. Well, if the 2 hour is able to go up a little bit higher, remain elevated, keep going up, up, up and away, up into, say, the Fed press conference, and then we start to see a pullback that leads into a 2 hour divergence later, that's more the risky time. As of right now, going into, say, tomorrow's session, you would look for a 30-minute pullback for a 30-minute continuation for more upside. This means that heavily, heavily here, this type of move this fast, if this move doesn't fail, then you are easily going to make a new all-time high with these signals. So thank you guys for watching this video. I really just wanted to discuss that with you. We have plenty of material in the description if you want to learn anything that we are talking about, learn about these ranges, learn how to set up your charts, all those kinds of things. There is a link to the full technical analysis course for the summer sale down there. It is 80% off. And the best part is, if you don't want to take it right now, you want to ask some questions, you can show up to the live show and ask plenty of questions about it. If you take it and then you have some further questions, you can come to the live show and ask questions about it. That's why it's such a good thing. And I hope you consider joining us for that live show Monday through Wednesday, all summer long, all the way up until the end of August for Monday through Wednesday, 8:30, or the open for a couple of hours every single morning. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the morning.